Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to talk to you about hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and discoloration, and share with you the mistakes I made along my skincare journey that has led to me having to tackle the hyperpigmentation and discoloration in my skin today. I kind of want you guys to learn from my mistakes so that you can hopefully have a more smooth transition through your own skincare journey. Hyperpigmentation can be one of the most difficult things to treat once it has accumulated, so stopping it in its tracks and doing the preventative things early on, honestly, will save you so much time, effort and money, and I want to share that with you today. So sit back, relax, and let's talk hyperpigmentation. Now, before we get into this video, everyone's journey with hyperpigmentation is going to be different. All our skin is unique, and it's always worth remembering that. And I always say when it comes to skincare, do what works for you. Find the products and the techniques which work well to deliver you the outcomes that you want, and cling onto them like they're your best friend. These are the mistakes that I made, and honestly, there is zero judgment here. I want to share these with you openly, so hopefully you can learn from my own mistakes, just making your own skincare journey easier. But if you're still, trying to work out what works well for you with your own hyperpigmentation, just keep going on that process. A little trial and error is always important. And one thing I always encourage people to do is sound off in the comments section below and let me know the products and the techniques that have worked for you. By sharing, we can all kind of learn from that best practice and hopefully maybe take a few hints, tips and hacks for our own routines. Hopefully, whilst you're down there, you'll also want to give this video a big thumbs up and a like. Let's get that message out there that your hyperpigmentation is something that we'll all suffer with at some point in our skincare journey. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I used to be super self-conscious of my own, but with a few little tweaks to our skincare routine, honestly, we can make the world of difference. And by giving the video a like, it's just one small way that we can get that message out there. But with all that being said, shall we cut the waffle and just delve into some of these mistakes? Well, it'll probably come as no surprise to anyone that my number one hyperpigmentation mistake was not wearing enough sunscreen. My mum always made sure I was covered from like the age of 0 through to 16. But as soon as I reached those mid-teen years, I thought, okay, this is my little bit of rebellion. I'd wear much less sunscreen than what I actually needed. If I look back to the sunscreens we had on offer, they were quite thick, quite gloopy. They weren't a pleasure to use, something that I do think genuinely has changed in the market today. But I really regret not listening to my mother. Always listen to your mothers, just as a general rule. They always know best. My mum was telling me, just keep reapplying your sunscreen. I decided to avoid doing that, and honestly, I'm paying the price now. Sun damage accumulates. We might burn once and think, it healed quite well. The redness dissipated and our skin went back to normal quite quickly. But actually that accumulates sun damage in the deeper layers of the skin, and that then arrives later down the line as hyperpigmentation, dark spots and discoloration. If I could go back to my teen self, the few things that I'd change is first and foremost, I'd make sure I'm applying enough sunscreen because I never thought I actually put enough on to really give me the coverage I need. I'd also make sure I reapplied thoroughly throughout the day. Again, I think a lot of us are guilty of skipping that reapplication. Of course, it depends on the sunscreen that you're using, the SPF strength, the environment around you and your individual skin's needs, but just make sure you follow the instructions and make sure you reapply it throughout the day because again, that'll just protect our skin against its desire to dark spot and hyperpigment. Also, I wish I'd chosen the right sunscreen for me. We have so much better options on the market today, but really you should be looking out for a broad spectrum sunscreen of an SPF 30 as a minimum, but one that also is pleasurable to use, one that you want to reach for day in, day out, because honestly, the best sunscreens are the ones that you want to incorporate in your routine. If you're avoiding applying the one that you've got, it's not the right one for you. Switch it up and honestly, your skin will thank you for it. The second mistake was going in with too harsh actives. I think we've all, this is why I said there's no judgment early on in this video, because I think we've all been guilty of this at one point. In our minds, the stronger, the better when it comes to skincare. Particularly when it comes to exfoliating acids. I thought, I had dark spots, so acne scarring, I had breakouts, and the best way to tackle all of those was going to maximum strength glycolic acid. No. And I learned this to my peril. Actually, when it comes to skincare, think of it as a marathon, not a sprint. Invest now in gentle applications, invest for the long term. And honestly, you'll see those results. You just have to have a little bit of patience and perseverance. I reach for the highest strength exfoliating acids and use them way too frequently. I also loved a good scrub, and I think that actually exacerbated my hyperpigmentation. If you think the skin's hyperpigmentation is the skin's natural defense against external aggressors. So inflammation, any cuts, burns, anything that happens, trauma in the skin, our skin will protect itself by producing excess melanin or pigment. So when you're inflaming and irritating the skin using really harsh actives, that could trigger an inflammatory, a pigmentation response in the skin, making the whole thing worse. I actually around 6 to 12 months ago dialed it back, switched my glycolic acid for my lactic acid, and honestly, I've got great results. In our minds, we think lactic acid is much more gentle than glycolic acid, so we won't get the same results. Take it from me, if it comes to hyperpigmentation, it's your #1 skin concern. Use a lower strength exfoliating acid on a more frequent basis, and honestly, you'll get so many greater results. And I think over the periods that I was using those high strength actives, I might have actually been exacerbating my hyperpigmentation. My third regret is only discovering antioxidants recently. Antioxidants, take it from me, are like holy grails in skincare. So many different ingredients actually have antioxidant properties, from niacinamide through to vitamin C to the true antioxidants themselves such as Q10 or resveratrol. They're all amazing because they protect our skin against free radicals. Free radicals cause oxidative stresses when they hit our skin. They can be things such as particulate matter, pollution, certain wavelengths of light, blue light. All of these things come into contact with our skin in our day-to-day lives and they stress it out. That stress creates an inflammatory response which then triggers more melanin production, leading to hyperpigmentation. You can kind of see the link. So anything you can do to reduce those oxidative stresses, honestly, will be game-changing for your hyperpigmentation journey. I don't think you can have too many antioxidants, and I like to layer multiple ones in my skincare routine to get like maximum benefit. I covered some of my favourites in a recent video, which I'll leave a link to up there. I really wish I started using these antioxidants earlier on in my skincare journey, because I think, again, their benefits are cumulative. You start using them, you have to be a little bit patient, but in the long run, you'll see some absolutely game-changing results. Finally, when it came to my hyperpigmentation mistakes, is I allowed it to define the way that I saw my skin. I thought everyone was looking at my dark spots and discoloration. It shattered my skin confidence, and honestly, I didn't really want to go out into the world as much as before I had these dark spots and discoloration. This was the wrong approach. Take it from me, someone who has had dark spots, scarring and discoloration for years. People are looking at the other features on your face, your eyes, your smile, your skin in general. They're not focusing down on the things that are your insecurities. I really wish I'd realised this earlier on, because honestly, I took a lot of that out on my skin. I go harsher with the scrubs and the exfoliating acids I mentioned earlier because I almost wanted to just scrub it all away. This isn't the right approach. Show your skin some love, and honestly, just see your skincare as part of your self-care journey. Over time, you will see those improvements, but be patient. Hyperpigmentation, generally speaking, takes twice as long to treat as it took to accumulate. So kind of bear that in mind and think, honestly, let's set realistic expectations from our skincare routine, and hopefully we'll see the benefits, and honestly, we'll regain some of our skin confidence. I still suffer with dark spots and discoloration to this day, but I found some really great products that work for me. I'm going to leave a link to some of my favourite sunscreens, which is up there. Check out that video because I document all my favourites, and there's one there for every price point, skin tone and preference. I also really just would say to everyone, make sure that you take time with your skincare routine. Love your skin, no matter what flaws you might have. They're all part of what makes us special, and that's particularly the case with dark spots and discoloration. Hopefully, by learning from these mistakes I've shared in today's video, it'll make your own skincare journey just that little bit easier. And wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, love your skin. Bye!